Hey YouTube, Jason here with DayTradingFearless. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, let's jump right into it. So this is the weekly watch list for October 4th, 2020. And let's first start off with two things. So overnight, on Thursday night to Friday. I'm recording this Friday evening. So you'll be watching this either Saturday or Sunday, probably on a Saturday. So Trump kind of got sick. The market fell really quick. And then what happened was when the market opened early in the morning, we kind of rallied and kind of went back up and then sold off a little bit late into the day. So like I said last week, be prepared for some volatility, okay? These are, let's take a look at SPY. Oh, the second thing with the volatility too is the election, because as we get closer to the election, if Trump gets sicker, that might be an issue, right? Because maybe it's more likely Biden wins. And if Trump gets better, then maybe the market rallies because the thought is Trump's going to win. So who knows? I just think we're in a sideways action with lots of volatility right now. Now, the sideways action could be anywhere from here to about here, okay? All this could become very big sideways action. So just things to be aware of. If we get to the lower end, maybe look for longs. We get to the upper end, look for shorts. So just carry that forward. But let's go back to last week, and we had this sell-off, right? And what I did was I actually drew a Fibonacci from this high to this low, okay? And we were also looking at this yellow line, which is the 50%, but it was also right up around the prior all-time highs. And if we kind of zoom in, right here, we came right up. I said last week, I was kind of leaning to the bullish side because of the way the candles were and all that with what was going on. I said, hey, we kind of broke above. We were in the waterfall. We're now, the market's bullish. Look for more upside. Went right to the 38, right to the 50, and now we're rolling back over. And now, 1, 2, 3, reverse waterfall. Now we're bearish on the daily, okay? So even though the market rallied, we are somewhat bearish on the overall market just based on the pure price action. Also, usually when you rally all the way up to the 50 and you sell off and break, watch out down below. We'll probably see more downside. Again, I believe it all depends on what's going on. I'm recording this at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'm in Las Vegas, and they just came out a little bit ago and said they transferred Trump to Walter Reed. So it's going to be interesting. If his condition goes lower, probably the market goes lower. If he gets better and there's really nothing, no crazy news, maybe we kind of go higher and retrace back up. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Remember, there's a gap down at this 328.75 level. Okay, but on the bigger picture, a high, a low, a lower high, lower low, lower high. Do we roll over and make a lower low and try and come to this 200, which is also the 1618 and also the value area high, okay, of the bigger market profile here. So interesting stuff going on. We will see what happens. Let's go to the ESs. Okay, we could kind of see the same thing, but for the ESs, let's do this. Let's draw a channel like this, right? Very clean channel. Everything matches up. Do we roll over and come back down? X marks the spot, right? Maybe the value area high, low volume node. Also with the 200 coming under, do we kind of gap lower, push lower, and get down to this 3130, 3140 level, which would also kind of be up right at this little gap that we had from here to here. Old support becomes new resistance. So 3140 to 3200, we'll call it, whatever. Actually, but I think we'd go lower, maybe even reach this little low volume node around 3120. So we'll say 3120, 3150. Let's take a look at crude oil real quick. Interesting what's going on with crude oil. This is, if you watched a few weeks ago, I said, hey, watch out, we have a rising wedge breakdown. I said, watch for a bounce, X marks the spot. We kind of came up to it, which is this high volume node, value area low, right? Because here's our value area high on the daily. Kind of got reversed here. And now we're going lower. A high, a low, a lower high, potential lower low, right? And so now I would sit here and let's clean this up. And I'm still looking for this 35 level, and then probably down around this 3172 level if the market continues selling off. I think that's our next major level. Also, you could see it's right around this high volume node of just this price action right here. So also, if we kind of zoom in, grab our Fibonacci extension, go from this high to this low, let's see if we can find something that matches up and look for potential confluence. And look at that, the 200 kind of matches right up with this low, so, right around this 31 to 30. We'll say 32 level, so somewhere inside there. So we'll leave this up for this coming week. Next, always Apple, right? So many people trade it. I left this up from our previous week, or actually the last few weeks. We've just been kind of adding to this and still watching. I'm still looking. If Apple goes, we're still watching this 90 level, 95, somewhere around there for potential long. I said I was getting along around the 106, 104 level, which I did a couple weeks ago. Nice bounce, but these are longer positions. So it's kind of crazy because when you want longer positions, you want price to keep falling so you can add and then finally get that big move up. But with that being said, we drew this Fibonacci from this high to this low. We went right up to the 32, kind of popped our head above, looked above, failed, and now we're down, and we will see what happens here. Again, high, low, lower high, lower low. Lower high, do we make a new low, maybe get to this 95 level? That's what I'm watching for. That's a really big number, this 200 level, or the 200 moving EMA moving average. And then finally, let's take a look at Tesla. Okay. Very interesting. I drew this last week with a Tesla. I say, hey, watch for this. Do we break out? We broke out, but then we failed. I am not going to be surprised if we come all the way back down to this lower trend line. So down here. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here with Tesla. But usually whenever you look above, you fail a very defined trend line like this. Come back into it. Usually price goes back to the downside. So I'd be watching that for a potential short for any follow through. Again, depends what happens this weekend. We might gap lower, but I would probably be looking at this 366 level, somewhere around there. Maybe start to clean up this bell-shaped curve right here to make this or this downside look more like this, where it's a very clean bell shape here. It's kind of ugly, so maybe price goes in to clean this up. And that's the way I read market profile. It's crazy, but when you look back, that's what price usually does. So I hope this helps you guys for this week of October 5th, 2020 for the trading week. And be very careful out there. Again, lots of volatility. Look for big swings up and down going into the next month or so into the election. But as always, thank you for watching. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon.